by the time I had gone home, we had this whole bucket of candy, whole bucket. Literally, I was like, did we miss our window to hand out this candy? Are we cursed with
What
this
time was
candy
it?
now? Dude, it was like 7 o'clock.
That's prime time.
Yes. So
Fiasco,
these
what was in your bucket? What were you handing out?
well, okay. All right. I had dots,
Oh,
peanut M&Ms, the like brownie Snickers.
okay,
You're
that's
not a
good. That's
you're
good.
not a fan of any of these things so far.
Dude, you know what? I'll give you
The
this. Dots are
the
something I will take. I will eat a dot, but I'm gonna enjoy the taste and hate the experience every single
oh
time.
what? Oh, is it because they're gummy and sticky
I
or
just I
like
can't get through them without feeling like I'm working for it. I don't want to work
oh
for it for that
oh
sugar boost. Uh,
I love dots. Anyways, we had the caramel apple like suckers too, the ones
those
that are
are
like coated.
those are bomb, dude.
I
Those
know
are
they're
S
way too
tier
good.
candies, and no one else thinks so. And I can't figure out why.
I've always loved them. Like the caramel's good, the apple part's sour. Like I think they're good.
Yeah,
Anyways,
they're the
we had
best.
those. These
S
two
tier
kids come.
candy.
These two kids show up at like 7:15 because the hours in my neighborhood were like till 7:30, and I'm like, if I were like an older kid, I wouldn't have cared. I'd still be out like trick or treating, whatever, right? And like I said, these kids are spoiled on nice Halloween. Because we'd be out till like 10, like 9 or 10. Like
Oh
we'd
yeah.
come home with like 1,000 pieces of candy, right? Like just
Mm-hmm.
an insane amount of
Like
candy.
you've mapped
Well,
out
these
the route,
you,
everything. You've
you're
mapped
like,
it
what's
out
up?
like you're jungling for your
Yeah.
hundredth
Oh
time.
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what you're
for sure.
doing.
Oh, for sure. You're like, I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna go over there. By the time I make my way back, we're gonna be good. These two kids showed up, and I was literally like, oh no, you're taking this candy. So I'm like giving them just like handfuls of candy, and they're like backing away from me, like, okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. And like they didn't want it. And I
Yeah.
was
Well,
like,
yeah, you
I,
did have a lot of dots. You can't hand a kid 10 boxes of dots and expect him to be
the
ecstatic.
dots were at the bottom. The dots were at the bottom. One of them turned the back of their car into like a gumball machine that actually worked.
No way. That's so
Yes.
sick.
No,
Dude,
it was, dude,
we had an
trick or
uncle and
treat.
aunt. I had. They're not dead. They're alive. They're right now. But I have an uncle and aunt who their
I
whole
have this
street,
uncle.
like he's like a, I don't want to dox him. I don't. He's not gonna get doxed. It's whatever. He's like a surgeon, a type of like doctor. That's not what I. It doesn't. Whatever. I'm not trying to explain to you
He's
what
not
different
even
kinds of
alive
doctors
anymore.
are.
He was a doctor.
Yeah, but he's dead now. He's not. But their whole neighborhood is like they're pretty well off, and they go all out with Halloween every single
Nice.
year. They turn their whole street. Everyone gets into it. They have like they were handing out huge not boxes of donuts for each kid, but they had like it's like a big party street. They had
Yeah.
they would hook up these like homemade train system to like the back of like a Rhino,
What?
the 4-wheeler
Yeah,
type.
yeah, yeah.
They would hook up a bunch of like home like cans on wheels to the back of this and string them together and like give kids like slow rides up and down the street and like people would
What?
drop like a huge and then there's like stuff for the adults like my grandma lives fairly nearby and she would go and like make scones and hand them out to people like huge party.
Dude.
It's the best. So
Wow.
every other Halloween thing just is like I'm bored.
It's not
I don't
it's not living up
I
to
don't
my
care for these fun-sized crunch bars. I could be in a train right now.
a lot of people don't know this. I think I might have actually mentioned it, but I know it's come up in conversation with some of the people I play with regularly, but so my wife and I are expecting a baby next
Congrats,
month.
dude. I'm so pumped
Yeah,
for you.
crazy. So next month, and the baby's due the 29th, but like, I mean, babies don't come on time. They
No.
come whenever they want to. So like, I'm just hoping not to be like in the hospital for Christmas,
Oh, poor Fiasco.
but
Got just
dude,
a labor. I'm just kidding.
no, it is honestly, it's not great.
You don't want your kid's birthday to be on Christmas. Everyone who
Well,
has a birthday on Christmas talks about how they don't love the fact that their
it's
birthday's on Christmas.
it's not even like that specifically. It's more of if they're born the day before or the day before that, so the 23rd, 24th, like it will just be that we'll be in a hospital
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
for a couple days. And it's just uncomfortable. Like, I don't know what we do with my son. Like, other people would have things going on. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen, but I have paternity leave through my through work. So like I could literally just have, and we're closed the last week of the year. So I could literally just be out for the whole month of December. That'd be wild.
That would be crazy.
But talk about things coming fast. Like, it's gonna be Thanksgiving, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna have a baby.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It might make the holiday season go by real slow for you. Like just that anticipation. Or maybe it'll be fast. I don't know. I don't know what being a parent is like. I don't even have a pet.
It's gonna go quick, man. It's gonna go so fast. As soon as Vex dropped, like, I of course had the blue motes because I have countless blue motes.
Yeah.
And so I just instantly bought her. But I have no idea like what her passive is. I know like how her kit works, but I don't know anything like in specific about her.
Oh, dude, I can get into it for sure. I've already been playing her a little bit, and she's immediately a fan favorite of old Huey.
There's something with you and Yordles. Like, it's like it's like just a match. Like Ziggs.
Yeah.
Vigor.
I kind of hate it.
Timo.
Because they're like my least favorite character. Oh, I tried to type up Vex to like have everything fresh. This is all staying in, by the way. But I typed in Vex to like get their kit up, and I'm in like what are they called? The Bionics. I'm in like a Bionics purchase page all of a sudden.
Nice, dude.
Vex.
Yeah. That's
awesome. Wild Rift. Here we go. Because I've been playing her a lot. I know like the generals, but I don't want to like talk out of my butt for this.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
This doesn't have her kit. That's freaking cool, dude.
I just pulled it up in game. So every 22 seconds, she becomes afflicted with doom, which means her next basic ability interrupts dashes and fears enemies for 3/4 of a second. And whenever a nearby enemy dashes or blinks, she marks them with gloom for 6 seconds. And then her next attack against a gloomed enemy deals additional magic and reduces the cooldown by 25%.
Yeah.
Non-champion targets, so like minions, monsters, whatever, take 40% damage and refund the ability's cooldown by 10%. Wow.
Yeah, no, she is fantastic. I can't tell. I think she's a little overtuned right now for sure. Not the most broken a new champ has been, but she's strong for sure. Something that
I agree.
Oh, for sure. Like I've had games where if the enemy allows me to go off, it's the one I posted in the Discord.
Yeah,
it was like
I saw it.
Me and the other Vex both had like 22 kills. It was crazy. She's really
seriously.
Don't send me to YouTube. Come on, man. I just want her abilities. Don't do this to me.
Seriously.
This has become way harder than it needs to be on my end.
The thing I think about it, so like she is, like you said, like if she gets going, I think she can feel problematic. Obviously she's got like a lot of anti-mobility, which affords her a lot of mobility, but but I think her present state is she is in a good spot.
I think it's better than not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm banning her is not because I'm afraid of her, but because people insist on playing Vex in the stupidest places. I had a Vex jungle.
Yeah.
I had a Vex support. Vex top lane. Just stop. Where does Vex
She's mid.
go?
Just play her mid.
She goes mid. Okay?
She goes mid.
That's it. And oh my gosh, I was so frustrated because I could literally go full tilt, like just like start talking about solo queue, but somebody's like, one of the guys on my team, some rando is like, oh, Vex support, please. Obviously she gets banned away. They're like, no.
Is she ever used in support at all? Is that something that I'm not aware of? Or
I don't honestly. I'm not sure. I don't know. PC is a different game. You know,
Yeah,
like
they're saying I've seen that there are some builds for PC, but don't take that as like a call to action. I'm willing to bet because of the fear element of her
yeah,
that
right.
that could be really really good.
Yeah, the
I've even
CC
noticed with
is great.
mid, like I've had times where I should have been dead, but I drop my fear ability and send them all packing, and I get out easily. It's
Oh, and it's
amazing.
so frustrating. But so people are like, the guy's like, oh, I got banned. So he goes Galio support. And look, I know people can play Galio support. I had no faith, and this guy let me down so hard. I was like, again, not a support. Like, you,
You playing
dude,
ADC?
no, I was not ADC. I was jungle.
Mm.
And
Hey, we
tragedy.
can actually let's do this because I think that this is good to know for the podcast. Because state of the game is obviously really important.
Yeah.
Like, let's put a quick pause on Vex.
Yeah.
I'm ready to like just pick Pantheon or Nunu jungle every single game and just bully my way into climbing. Like, I don't have any other options, dude. If you don't have a
Yeah.
hyper carry right now, I can't. I mean, we obviously have had we've talked a little bit before we started recording, but
Yeah.
I'd be curious. Everyone who's listening to this, let us know. Join the Discord. Here's a plug. Join the Discord
Yeah,
and literally
right.
let us know because I want to know how much of a struggle the climb feels for everybody right now. Because I don't know if that's just. I mean, we're just two people. It's pretty isolated
Right.
numbers wise,
Exactly.
but it
For sure.
feels hard. It is harder to climb right now than I feel like it has been in a minute. I just keep
Yeah.
losing. It's crazy.
My experience is win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game,
Yeah.
or
At best.
like it's like win a game, get fortitude, lose a game, lose a game. So it's like it's always net even. Sorry, and the thing that frustrates me is I'm playing like Shyvana and I'm playing careful and like, but I'm there for ganks and like I have great engages and I'm getting trashed by like my teammates. They're like,
Oh yeah.
we have no dragons. You're Shyvana. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like,
We didn't
can
group for
someone-
Dragon.
can someone who's going to blame the jungler please just take a second before you start saying we have no dragons? Okay, like I can't just show up and take the dragon. I get killed.
Yeah.
I can't if there's
Yeah.
no prio, if we're down in gold, if our team is just blind or oblivious, we're not getting the dragon. That's just reality. So I'm almost thinking I haven't played Nunu in a long time, but I'm keen to run some people over with the damn snowball.
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, especially in these.
I'm-
I mean, some of these games are rough because teammates for sure. But if you build a little bit of AP with Nunu, like just
Oh,
tack
yeah.
it on there, it is shocking how much even just one Rod of Ages with a tank kit adds to his damage. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. I always build
So if
them
you want to
hybrid.
bully your way through, if you have been like wanting to learn jungle, like anyone out there, now is the time probably to do it because it's going to be, if you're playing solo queue at all, you should be probably practicing jungle. There's never been a better time if you want to win games. Like seriously,
Yeah.
and you might spend a lot of time losing in those first ones, but frick, man, it's so bad right now. It's so
It is.
bad.
I mean, I've even been trying to play like Wukong because he's been like super buffed.
He's been
but
super
again,
buffed.
he's like it's like again like I don't want to like really drive this home, but and I can't
Yeah.
emphasize it enough. But this is just the reality. I cannot do enough to win some of these games.
Mhm.
I just can't. I had a quadra kill with Darius the other day, and I wiped their whole team. We roll over to take Elder. They didn't stop. They didn't like I who was Darius with like 18 kills decide like I'm not gonna go to that objective. I'm gonna zone the whole enemy team. They get like somehow they lose it to a Vayne. Like Vayne.
To be fair, you did just say somehow, and I know how. It's because Vayne's broken AF. She's a team killer. I agree. I think I believe you 100%. But Vayne also was like, well, it doesn't matter. They could have been great, and it doesn't matter. Vane's
They
gonna do
just
it.
snuck in there and stole it, and I was like,
Yeah.
how did they didn't? What, we had smite. What happened? Like,
I know, dude. I know. I've been blown
yeah,
away at the amount of people missing smite, even if they're going. I'm like, they fixed this. They fixed the
yeah.
auto. You just have to push the button. Push the button, dude.
Seriously. And what's crazy is like, so basically what happens is I was just stomping their Lux, who was like hard carrying their team, but she gets Elder in the midst of this, and then I'm just dead. And then I kill a number of their team again, but my team just I was like, dude, I had a set 80 AP. Well, he was supposed to be the ADC, but he
Yeah.
went set and he built all crit, so he just was getting run over.
Why?
Dude.
Why? Why are you? You know,
Someone
every
save
time I
me.
see a wacky build, though, well, okay, there's a few things. You always got to look at the top pro plays, the top three, because some people put troll builds in there, and some people don't
Yeah.
know or are new to the game, and I can kind of forgive that. Like, I really can, because there was a time where I definitely would have done that. I remember for the
Sure.
longest time, Brand. I took it once, like an idiot in a PvP game, but Brand had like all AD stuff, and I thought I was
Oh
like, why?
no.
So I tried it, and I was like, this sucks. This is bad. And
Somebody trolled you. Yeah.
oh yeah, but even then, like, I say that like I give him a bit of a pass, but even then, it's like, why didn't you look? But I could also
Yeah.
say that to myself 99% of the time. So it's, I don't know. Anyway,
I had an 80 Ari for fun.
that's not
Yeah,
fun.
thanks. Thanks.
Who's that
bud.
fun for? The enemy team? It's not.
80 Ari? What? I was
Those
like,
auto
cool.
attacks, you gotta get your money's worth.
Oh my gosh, so frustrating.
The I was gonna say, like, just as we kind of get through the state of the game currently, as we get out of the circle jerk segment of it, it's I think that the items in play lately have been awesome. I feel like AP builds have been a lot more diverse, and I've even been experimenting with a lot of like mixed builds, which are feeling a lot more power. Like, I think generally you're supposed to do a lot of when I do Malphite, it's like if I go all tank or all AP, that's kind of your only choice a few months ago. And now you can go a little less on the tank to take like an Imperial mandate. Is that what it's called?
Mandate, yeah.
Yeah. So I need to come up with a new name for that for the community. but
Is that the flag? Is that the?
I don't know what it is. I thought it was a shield, but I could see it being a flag on a pole too. So
Right?
I don't know.
It is, right? Honestly, I don't know. A mandate could be a document.
Oh, that's probably what it. I should have thought about the name. That's probably exactly what it is.
It's a royal document.
But like the haste is good, and like these are translating into like as we transition back to Vex a little. Like, I don't see a lot of people take Imperial Mandate on her, and I think that that's pretty mind blowing because it's like perfect. It gives her ability haste, AP, health, and will mark enemies hit in team fights. It's like everything she wants is in that item, but I don't see it built never, but I don't see it built a lot. And that's interesting. If someone knows why, let me know.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm dumb. I will accept it gracefully. I just don't totally understand. The thing that I feel like, because she's a pretty simple champ overall, the thing I feel like I see
Right.
players missing with her the most is the dashing gloom aspect, which to its credit, I feel like I'm missing a lot. Like, you kind of have to like really pay attention to the symbol, and it's even one that like, just because they started dashing, you start to feel like, I missed it, but you also don't have anything on cooldown, or you're not right in auto range, so you're like, what do I do? What do I do? I guess we kind of went over her passive a little bit. Well, I guess you read it word for word.
Yeah, I did.
Is it
talk
consumed
about
by her auto? I don't remember.
I think it's just in a.
I know it's consumed by her other abilities. I just don't know
her
about auto
abilities.
specifically.
I don't know about auto either. Yeah, I'm not. I would not think so.
Yeah,
A little laser gun. I don't think so.
I'm not 100% sure. I do know that there are like really specific combos with this character. So I'm gonna run through the rest of the abilities really quick because as I kind of looked into it, I was pretty blown away. Her first ability is what you've all seen. She sends out a wave and then it shrinks and accelerates. Her second ability is a burst of damage around her that also gives her a shield, which I'm going to say right now too. If you people are like not sure how to level this champion, this should always be second for sure. You're probably doing that anyway, but use it for damage. It does a shocking amount of damage.
Yeah,
and it'll consume gloom as well. I'm not seeing that on the PC version, I don't think, but I think it does I know it does for Wild Rift. Her Looming Darkness is something that you got to pay really, really close attention to if you're going against her for two reasons. One, it's what is going to install fear on you. Her first and third ability are the ones that do that. So her Wave Shot and her AoE are both the only things giving gloom as far as I can tell. The other thing about her third ability is you need to pay attention to it late game. It's never going to hit super, super hard, but she does level it last. Like, it's ideal for her to do that. And its damage is low, but its scaling is pretty good. So there are times where I find, like, I try to use it for wave clear and stuff, like mid-game with Vex, and I can't do a thing with it. Like, it just feels like a waste if I use it for anything other than its very specific purpose. But at late game and you get some items, you're actually chunking pretty decent amounts of damage and applying gloom, which can set up combos, things like that.
She puts down like the pool that like kind of erupts?
Yes. And I didn't even notice this by playing it, but as I was reading more about her, just like looking up the combos, things like that, because I thought I saw potential and I went down the rabbit hole. So the closer, if you look at the animation of when she does it, her shadow leaves her and goes to wherever the pool is and then rises up once it makes contact. The further away it is, the longer it takes to erupt and the bigger the AoE is. So if you drop it right on yourself, it'll just go off in a second. So if someone rushes you, you can scare them off if your gloom is up. So keep that in mind as you're playing her. I would also recommend taking this ability first if you're for like your very first ability, and then level your first and second. Applying gloom and scaring enemies off of minions in the early game is very good. And don't trust me and my wacky crap I like to do in early game on this. Like, I read this online. Like, this is a real thing. This isn't a Houston tip. But there are a ton of combos you guys can do here. Her ult is her last ability. I'm sure everyone knows what this is. You shoot a missile that is not the easiest in the world to hit for me. You got to use it like sneaky. If you just try to, like, if the enemy can see you, they're going to dodge it like every time. You have to like use it from the side or like in some chaos of a fight or something.
It's like if you can get, so what I've seen a lot of people do is like if you have anybody on your team who's got CC, like they'll CC somebody and you can then like take that time to like target somebody who's just kind of standing still, like trying to auto attack or whatever. And if you're just jumping on like the back line, that's pretty good. But the crazy thing I will say about it is, in my experience, I'm like, oh, okay, I see that little freaking thing coming. I'm just going to sidestep it. And then I'm like, wait, hold on there. How did it still touch me? I will say the hitbox can feel,
it's a little wacky,
generous.
Yeah. There are times where I thought I've clearly missed with it because it's showing me on the mini player. It'll show me that it's marked them. And I'm like,
right.
I see where they are, and I see where I sent the shadow, like the trajectory. It had to have skimmed them and gotten it.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's one of those like I'm like somebody wasn't thinking when they made this hitbox because it's like Lux Laser. Like there's like an edge of the light that you can't see, but it will hit you.
Yeah,
it feels like that to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. It needs to be cleaned up. I would be down if they shrunk the hitbox and made it a little bit faster. Because I think what I find myself doing a lot, and maybe this will come with practice more, but something I do with a lot of skill shots in games, and sometimes it's like with Varus, this has been like, my Varus game has felt awesome. I felt very confident with the champ.
I heard you picked him up, yeah.
I love him. He's amazing. And I'm like, I'll shoot shots in the dark. Like, it'll be pitch black in the jungle, but I'm like, I saw them here. I guarantee they're right there, and I'll get the kill, and it's just endorphins rushing through my body.
Oh, for sure. I love hitting skill shots.
Amazing. And hers is, I find myself trying to lead my shots or predict enemy movement, And for whatever reason, I really, really, really struggle with her ult. I miss it a lot, Fiasco. It's not good. So I need to practice with her for sure. I would like a little more speed because I think that's where I'm tripping up. But she's really, really unique in the fact that she is a control mage. There's no doubt about it. She just has this way to excel at ganks, but with the diversity of the types of situations she can do all this kind of crap in, like, you also need very hyper specific parameters to do them without like dying a ton, I think. Like, she has the shield, like, so a combo that I've seen a lot is you whether, like, if you can apply gloom before any combo to initiate something and then get a gloom reset and apply it again for more damage, then that's always going to be ideal. So I won't like go into that when I talk combos, but there are things like you rush in with your, or use fear with your third ability to let them, like, get them locked into place for movement wise. And then you hit them with your ult, you rush in, you use your second ability to immediately get a shield, burst damage, and then hit them with the wave, right? Like, she has, and there's like mix-ups of things you can do with that for everything, which I think is really refreshing for a control mage who generally they're not very combo heavy, like outside of like very obvious ones like Ari's type of stuff, or Vagar, it's like do the 1, 2, 3 ult, like, you know, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really
Kinda
refreshing to have
rotate
like that. And she's coming in a good time where like there are anti-shield items that people are taking and are really useful. So she's not too OP in that sense. She feels healthy for the game, and I'm kind of shocked by that because it feels like she could have made it miserable for a minute.
Yeah, I don't think she's unbearable. Like, she's not like I mean, we talked about Vayne earlier, but like it's not like a Vayne or a Draven or you know, like I honestly I kind of feel like Draven's more broken than she is.
Oh yeah, right now, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have one who's competently using the gold abilities and a support who's helping him do it, you lose. You just kind of lose.
It's hard. But I like her kit. I had a Vex try to snipe me under tower, and I was like, I baited it. I was like, I'm gonna walk under tower. This is perfect. They showed up, and I was playing Darius, so I just hooked her as soon as she showed up, or I tried to, and but because she instant feared me as soon as she showed up too, like I was like, no, it's like no. She didn't kill me. I did not let her get away. I actually ended up killing her, but
very nice.
I was worried for a second. I was like, no, dude, this is like, my plan was she's going to come in here. She's foolish. Like, I'm going to grab her. She's going to get stunned, slowed, take 2 turret shots. She's dead. But she instantly shows up, and I was playing with Flight and Derm, I think. And actually we were in a 5-man. It was like me, Sakuria, Derm, Flight, and Umi, and we literally just watched Flight jump into 3 people, and the shield went off, and they just like literally were gone.
Totally. It does a shocking amount of damage, especially late. Like, it scales well, and the shield scales off of it. Like, if you watch her shield late game after she has good items and she's doing well, you're gonna see like half her health bar become a shield. It's crazy. That is definitely one of those combos though. Like, that's what I think is really refreshing. It's like, let me ult in, intentionally waiting for my third ability to have like the passive come up, so that the moment I get there, if it's a crowd, I can just quick burst my third ability because I'm going to drop it on myself because I'm going to be on them, and then scare them off, shield, and start killing people, especially late game where you can start really comboing that damage. There's just options with her. And it all kind of relies on like a rhythm you need to find with her passive, which I haven't totally gotten down yet, but I'm committed to it.
I mean, you get that reset, man, and it's just like, and just like that clip you posted the other day, it's like, oh, somebody's walking it, like they're literally like, I don't know why they were chasing you, but they were, and you're like, please walk into this ultimate, boom, you're dead. And you had no health. Had no health.
None.
And you're just like, 1 kill, 2 kill, 3 kills.
Seriously. Because when you have enough like shield reliability, it feels feel safe going for stuff. And even if it's like, there are cool opportunities where it's like, okay, I am probably going to die doing this play. Like, obviously, those are not ideal. You need to really know what you're doing if you're like, I'm kind of intending to die here. But it's like,
Yeah.
there's a dragon fight. I can wipe out 2 to 3 members here. I'm going for it. Like, one of them's their jungler. I'm going to go in, and if I die, I die. But we're getting this dragon now.
Right.
Or things
Yeah,
like
that
that.
could work. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, don't let yourself die if you don't need to. But still, it's
Yeah,
something
right.
that
Yeah.
you have the option. It's
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
that's a Hail Mary for sure. And you could totally pull it off
Yeah, I agree.
easily.
And again, like, if people don't know what they're doing against her, she can steamroll and become a huge problem. But I don't think there's something weird about her damage that I can't like totally put my finger on. Like, she doesn't feel weak, obviously, but
Right.
she doesn't, like, for so much of the game, and even sometimes in like late game with certain aspects, like wave clear sometimes, like if you don't have your first ability or your third maxed or whatever, like your wave clear feels kind of bad. Like, I don't know. It's really interesting. Maybe I need to. I've only played like 4 to 5 games with her, so I need to like go at it again before I like drop any hard opinions. But I think she's awesome. I think she's healthy,
Yeah.
good for the game. I think she's great. I will say a personal gripe. I don't know what it is, but there's like a, I don't even know how to describe this. There's like an oomph some characters have with their attacks in this game. Like, it feels good to land. Like, but outside of her second ability and her ult, none of Vex's feel good. And I don't know if that's like an effect thing or a sound thing or what, but like,
Yeah.
they just feel like they don't have any kind of oomph to them, and it drives me nuts, dude. This
Yeah,
is
I bet.
purely an aesthetical thing for me, but I hate it. Like,
Like,
my
I
stuff
need
like
this.
washes over enemies, and there's no like. It just doesn't feel like it. Like, even though the damage went down, it doesn't feel like anything like happened. I don't know.
It feels like you need like a wicked laugh for the first ability. Like your shadow comes out and it kind of laughs as it like pushes
Oh
people
yeah,
away.
I don't have
or
the sound on, so
something.
I didn't know that.
No, I'm saying like that would be. I feel like that would be like cool. Like, but I don't think it does anything. I think it really is just kind of like.
Yeah, it
You
just
know?
washes over people, which it's,
Yeah.
but it feels like maybe it's specifically the first ability for me, and then the third just not being a lot of damage for most of the game. But I like the first ability feels like it should like have that like jet whine as it like comes out and then
Yeah,
charges
right.
up and then gets small and fast. If they
Yeah.
had like an Iron Man hand laser sound effect on that, it would be sick. It'd be so good.
Her auto attacks do sound like lasers. What's up with that? They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Beomp, beomp."
Yeah.
I'm like,
And she's one of
Was
those she's one of those control
be-
mages where her auto attacks feel really weak, like Ari's. It's like this
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. Like, if I'm not proccing electrocute or going for
yeah,
like a last hit on a minion, why would I ever auto attack?
yeah. You no, you wouldn't.
That's what
for
it feels
sure.
like. What
That's why they're not good at taking turrets.
Say it again.
That's why they're not good at taking turrets.
Oh no, except for Vhagar and Galio, they're pretty good at it.
Yeah, well, Galio, yeah.
They put in work, dude. They're crazy. But the only thing I want to mention is if you're building items with her, there is different things you could do for anyone interested in this champ. My recommendation is like you could do other things. Focus on ability haste. You need your abilities up to be able to proc Gloom as often as possible, and you want to be using Fear to your advantage. It's just kind of like it's a bit of a no-brainer. Like I don't want to say like she's a champ who's locked into one type of moveset, and there are definitely things like you could not go for Imperial Mandate and like lose out on the health and do something else with ability haste, or maybe get some extra magic pen with like Void Staff if you need to, if you have already a good amount of ability haste. But you want your abilities up as often as possible, because she does decently long cooldowns and needs to be using her abilities a huge amount of the time. Do you have any have you played her at all yourself or just against her?
Only against her and with her on my team.
Do you have any recommendations from things you've noticed for people, like things you've seen work against her or how to counter her, things like that?
So, I think Ludens is a must, right? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like
Wave clear.
all the splash, And but yeah, I think it's just one of those things where you have to know what she wants to do.
Yeah,
Um, and chasing her can be so frustrating because she just kind of fears you away. Um, that's been kind of my frustration with her is like I have to commit to like getting to her or not getting to her. Like you don't want to chase Vex too hard
oh
because
yeah,
again, like put yourself in a situation where she just retreats and then you get into a fight with somebody else. But guess what? She's coming back.
yeah. It gives her
And then you
opponent,
get
her teammates, so much time to like counteract any kind of decision making. So much.
yeah. But I will say like if they don't if somebody does waste like her other abilities and she just like dashes to you and isn't gonna blow you up, it's great to lure. It's kind of like a Yi situation, right? Like she's committed to a dash. Same thing with Vi. Like if you can get them to waste that ability on you and they don't have their other abilities, like you just move into an advantageous like position for you and your team,
Totally.
and then Vex shows up and dies.
Yeah.
So but if she doesn't have fear, she's not getting away. If she doesn't have ult, if she doesn't have ult and she doesn't have fear, she's not getting away anytime fast.
Yeah. And even with ult, she's gonna get to another enemy at best. You know, like that's her
Right.
only option.
Exactly.
I actually wondered to myself as I played her, I'm like, what if this could attach to teammates? And I'm like, that might be kind of interesting and cool, but I think ultimately it'd be more frustrating than not if you were trying to get
Yeah.
somebody.
Oh yeah. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
For
think we
sure.
mentioned this, and I think everyone knows, but it does get a recast. I don't think we
Right.
explicitly
Yep.
said it. So if you
Got
get a
the
kill
reset
within
for sure.
6 seconds, I don't know if assists count. I don't think they do. From what I read, it just said the text, if an opponent dies within 6 seconds after you've hit them with your ult, you can do it again. But I don't know if Vex
Huh.
has to kill them herself. I know
Yeah.
you don't have to
I
kill
don't
with
know
the
either.
ult. So,
Huh.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, maybe it is. Maybe that does count. Like the only reset champs I play, you have to get a kill with the ult
yeah.
to get the reset. Yeah.
I think that's kind of how they,
So
because like you mentioned like Vi, how she's like kind of all committal just like this.
right.
Vi also builds a lot healthier than Vex. Even if you're putting
Oh
on
yeah.
extra HP, Vex is not very tanky. She gets that shield, but it doesn't last very long. If you time it right and she doesn't kill you, she's toast. She can't do anything unless she somehow gets her gloom back up.
Yeah. Right.
So maybe that's to compensate is my guess. I can't say for sure though. I don't know. She's super unique, dude.
She's I like watching it's fun to play with people like from the Discord who play it. Like, you know, when Flight was playing Vex, it was cool. Like it was just have fun with it. It was cool to watch them just like get a sudden triple kill or
Yeah,
like, you know, just I'm leaving the fight because I have to retreat and I'm just watching him like blow people up.
totally.
And no, that was really cool. I like that she can just kind of get across the map all crazy like. And
I
it's
kind of want
cool
to
to
hit someone
see.
who's recalling and see if I can get a glitch where they go back
Oh
as I
dude,
hit them and go.
I'm
I just
sure if you
want to. I'll
time
kill
it,
myself. I don't care. I want to go all the way to the Nexus. It's
I'm
just so
sure you
funny.
could for sure. I'm sure you could. The fun of watching her just like go anywhere and everywhere is I do enjoy that. So yeah, I don't think she's bad for the game by any means. I'm excited for Warwick to drop in a couple days, and
Do
I
we have
kind
a
of
hard
wonder
date on
like
that,
I think it's the third, so it's like I'm
dude?
pretty
Two
sure it's
days.
like in literally a couple days. Yeah,
Speaking of the third, real fast, we do have a small trailer preview that I think we can talk about. We have a trailer for a trailer. Um,
nice.
we are getting. This isn't even like a leak. It feels like I'm saying this like it's a leak, but we're getting Kane and Aatrox. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I think so.
They've already been shown off in this trailer. If you guys haven't seen it, we found it on Twitter, which is like I think the only place I've seen it. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
Yeah,
But so November 3rd, we're getting a huge 3.5 like video long form update. So be excited for
nice.
that. Probably the same. They'll probably just drop Warwick either during or right after that happens, is my guess.
Yeah, because I that makes sense because Warwick is the last champ of 3.4.
It's just weird that we're transitioning straight from a release into being like, hey, here's more characters. In the year they said we're not getting a lot.
We're not, and we've gotten so many. It feels like
more than ever. It's like they were just maybe they were surprised by it. I don't know. But there's a few new things that like we don't know full details on yet. I'm sure we'll talk about next week. But the things to look for, there's some kind of new duel system. My gut reaction is it reminds me of like the Nasus Renekton situation, or Bug Boy and Catman.
Right. Yeah. What are they even called? The Nemesis duels.
Yes, it looked like that, and it seemed like it was with where they placed it in the editing of the video. It looked like it was tied to a normal game. So I don't know if that's like a new unique mechanic coming to Wild Rift. I have no idea, but
that'd be cool.
It seemed like it. I haven't never seen anything like that with League outside of those interactions.
You know what's funny is like I haven't seen a Nemesis duel in what feels like
long time, 6
or 7 months, maybe.
I agree.
Like a really long time.
I remember playing the game for like 6 months before I saw it the first time and was like, what's happening?
Yeah, I'd have to go on the internet to see it happen for sure.
Are there any outside those two that we know of?
No, and people were like, there should have been one between Kale and Morgana, but like...
that would have been cool, kind of.
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't get it. No, it's weird.
But yeah, everybody, keep an eye out for that. I think that pretty much wraps it up. Is there anything else you wanna add about Vex at all?
No.
I feel like we thoroughly.
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy Vex is in the game. I think I like her like model. I like the whole gloom thing.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as she's not busted, she's just not a support. She's not a support.
That's how I feel about every champ in the game. Put them in as unique and dumb as you want, as long as they don't break the game. And they haven't quite gotten that one down yet, but they'll get there. This one was a good one. This was a green check mark in Riot's rule book. But I think that does it. Tell them where they can find everybody. Tell the people.
Well, you can certainly find us in our Discord if you didn't know. But you know, everybody kind of floats around. I think people have Twitters.
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe not for long.
He streams here and there. Yeah, right. RIP Twitter.
Yeah. Speaking of the streaming really fast, I'm working on videos pretty hard right now. Some of them Wild Rift, some of them not. I've got some stuff floating around in the backlogs of my computer here.
Nice.
I will say the streams I want to keep doing. I guess I'll just say this here. As I focus on the YouTube stuff, like just between like some of the public like discourse on like the state of Twitch, things like that. I want to keep streaming because I really love that personal interaction with everybody in the Discord and like outside of Wild Rift stuff. I think it's a blast. But I'm going to be slowing down on it so that I can spend more time making videos and stuff. I think I get a bigger kick out of those, and I think those are higher quality. So I'm trying to kind of reallocate all my time here into a better flow, a better system. Because the system before was never stop and then don't do anything for 3 months, and that didn't feel very productive. So I'm going to try and switch it up.
Cool.
I think that does it. Let's get on the Rift. Let's play some games.
For sure.